Hey, happy day 7 of the live challenge workshop. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Not sure exactly what time it is. I turned my phone on a little early because I wanted to get started. I was trying to share a model, a framework with you, but I don't have the technology. I don't have it set up on my laptop, or I could have shared it that way. I took a picture of it because I want to go over this first thing. Before we even start talking about mindset, I want to give you a model. I want to give you a framework to face the challenge that we're facing with the coronavirus right now, to face any challenge that you're facing anytime in your life. There is a proven process, and let's see how many steps it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and repeat. It's a 6-step process. I've used it my entire life, and when I think about how I've personally handled challenges, any type of challenges, health challenges, business challenges, relationship challenges, any type of challenges I've been faced with in my life, and there have been a plethora of them. That means a whole dang lot. I have used this same exact process, and that's why I want to share it with you. I think we covered it in the challenge workshop, but I want to really specifically and clearly break it down for you and cover it. I did take a picture of this, and I will put it in the comments below. I don't know how to put it in the comments below as we're going or as we got started, unless I have somebody else on the computer, which I do not today because it is a Sunday, and even on a usual Sunday, people like to do their own thing. So let's go ahead and run through this 6-step challenge framework or challenge handling process. And of course, step 1 is the challenge itself. We become aware of a change or a problem or a situation or a challenge or something that we just feel isn't exactly right for us. And so what do? We ask ourselves, the very first thing we do when faced with a challenge is we ask ourselves, what do we want? What do I want? What do I want to happen? Yep, I see I got this problem. I'm stuck in my house right now because of the coronavirus. My job just got eliminated. What do I want? Well, I want to be able to make some money so I can support my family, right? So we have to know where we want to go. What's the direction we want to at least go in? What is it that we want? Now this sounds like a super duper easy question, right? Doesn't it? But if you asked 10 people, what do they want? Like right this minute, if you called 10 people and asked them, hey, what do you want? They probably couldn't tell you more than, hey, I want some toilet paper because I'm running low. Or I want to get back to work because this virus is making me stir crazy with the kids and the family. But overall, any time of life or the world, if you ask 10 people what do they want, 8 out of 10 of those people, if not 9 out of 10, cannot give you a specific answer saying, hey, this is what I want. You know, I want to create a business that serves these people, that does this, because I want to change the world. I want to be able to have a career as a doctor. I want to be the best doctor of whatever in, you know, my state, my country, my world, whatever. But the first step when you're faced with a challenge is to say, okay, obviously if you're noticing the challenge, it's probably something that you don't want. And all you have to really do to find out what you do want is take the opposite of what you don't want, right? That's the easy, quick, and dirty way of doing it. You know, so we're faced with a problem, we're faced with an obstacle, we're faced with a challenge, and we ask ourselves, well, what do we want? Not what don't we want, what do we want? Then we figure out our position, and that's step 2 of the challenge process. Challenge, the obstacle, the challenge, the problem. Something pops up, and then we say, well, what do we want? What do we really want? Well, I don't want this, so I want the opposite of this. And then the next step is analyzing where the heck we are right now. What position are you in right now? We're not judging it. We're not freaking out about it. We're not adding a ton of emotion to it. We're just asking ourselves, okay, this is the situation. This is the challenge in step 1. And then what do I want? Where am I right now? What position am I in? Have I lost my job? Is my business shut down? And we're not making any commentary about it. We're just saying, what is right now? My husband has a girlfriend. My relationship is on the rocks. What is right now? Doesn't matter. Don't have to get emotional about it. That's just what is. My business is shut down. That's just what is. My business is running and I'm going insane because I don't know how to handle all of the volume that's coming our way because we've never been in this position before. There are businesses that are facing that situation right this very instant. So what's your position? Where are you? So problem, challenge, what do you want really given the challenge? And it's usually the opposite of what's going on right now. And then where are you in relation to what you want, right? In relation to what you don't want. You might be smack dab in the middle, or you might be on one end or the other. If you were financially prepared and had money in the bank and resources and, you know, low credit card debt and were in a good sound position and you just lost your job, chances are you're feeling a lot better and a lot more secure and a lot less stressed than the person, which is the majority of people living paycheck to paycheck right now, that just lost their job and have got their credit cards maxed out already just from living day-to-day life, and they're not sure how they're going to get the food that they need, the resources that they need to get their kids through a month-long shutdown and no job. So doesn't matter, don't judge it, just what do you want, what position are you in right now, where are you right now? The third step in the model, so it's the challenge or the obstacle, and then what do you want, the position that you're in, where are you at right now, be honest, just this is where I'm at right now. If finances are your biggest challenge right now with respect to that, know exactly where you are. How much money you got in the bank? How much credit you got on your credit cards? Is there a way you can expand or extend the credit by calling your credit card companies and getting a higher limit on your credit cards right now? Entirely due to the coronavirus, right? And then after we know what we want and where we are, we can start looking at alternatives. The third step in the challenge process is to ask yourself, what else is possible? What are the possibles? What even is possible? And guess what? Don't limit yourself into what you know and what you're thinking and what's worked in the past. Because if we want to really break through and change things and bust through challenges and make massive quantum leaps in the direction our life is going, chances are we have to look for things that we've never done before. We have to look for possibilities that we've never even imagined or taken a closer look at before. We have to open ourselves up to, hey, it isn't either black or white. And we're black and white for a reason today, because right now so many people are taking the opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of black and white. It's either this or that. It's either this or that. And it isn't, and it never has been. Life has always been full of a huge spectrum of possibilities for each and every one of us. And if we look for those possibilities, we'll find them. So we need to start brainstorming, and I love brainstorming. It's my favorite technique. Brainstorming is by far my favorite technique, and you've seen me use it over and over again. Brainstorm a list of possibilities and options. Say, for example, you lost your job and you're maxed out and you need money right now. What are some ways that you can get money fast? You can get money now. Some ways are faster than others. Do you have anything that other people would want that you can sell? Do you have the ability to solve a problem for other people that you can offer to solve a problem for them in exchange for some valuable resources? Remember, it doesn't have to be money. Maybe you can exchange for some toilet paper. Maybe you can fix something or do something or add value to someone else's life in exchange for some food or some meals or for whatever it is that you need or want most. It doesn't have to be money for money. And that's another example of just opening up our horizons and the possibility of we can barter things. We can find different ways of exchanging things. We can find different ways of looking at how we've done business in the past, how we've made money in the past, how we've created our life and provided for ourselves and our families in the past. The next step in the challenge process is to take action. So we need to brainstorm this list of possibilities, and then we need to pick one, and any one that makes the most sense. And there's all kinds of complicated ways and complicated tools and things you can use to analyze all these alternatives. But I say pick the one that feels best to you and then just start doing it. Take action toward it. Say you decide that you want to do a challenge. Just pick the people that you're going to serve. If you've already been serving a group of people, if you have a job where you are already serving people, say you, and I love the nail salon one because that's been a big problem for me, right? If you are a nail salon employee and you've lost your job, what could you do to help people that are at home like me thinking, how the heck am I going to do my nails? What am I going to do? And so that you can save people like me from going to the dog grinding tool and using that on my fingers, and help us actually tell us how we really should care for and what we really can do and where we can get resources and things to tide us over till we can get back to the salon. Anybody who works in a salon and does nails has the ability to do that, to share their knowledge and their information with somebody that's got a problem. But we need to select something and then start taking action to move toward that. There's so many creative ways to solve problems if we just open up our imagination and be more creative. And it doesn't involve harming any other people or doing anything illegal or unethical or wrong, right? So we take some kind of action and we test the thing to see if it moves us toward what we want or away from what we want. Guess what? A lot of the things that we test and do don't work. I don't know about you, but I've had a lot more things in my life that have not worked than things that have actually worked. And it's the process of learning and growing and testing and tweaking and trying something else and doing another thing that leads us to the system and what really works for us. So we get a result, and it can be a positive result or a negative result. If it moves us toward what we want, it's a positive result. If it moves us away from what we want, it's a negative result. If it doesn't move at all, it's not really a result. It didn't really do anything. So what do? We just do something else, right? We pick something else, we do something else, and we keep moving toward the thing that we say we wanted to overcome the challenge in the first place. Now, doesn't mean we just try something once and keep trying a gazillion different things. We don't get, what's that called? Shiny object syndrome. We stay focused, and every question now becomes, is this moving me toward what I want or not? If it isn't going to be moving me toward what I want, then I'm probably going to say no to it. It's not a priority. So we look at our results, we see what's happening, and the things that work, guess what? We automate those things. We turn those into a process that's repeatable so that we can do it over and over and over again. So as we're moving toward what we want, we find things that work, and then we create systems so that we're doing the thing that worked the same way every time, so that we get predictable, consistent results. And then we just repeat the process, because guess what? As soon as we solve one challenge, as soon as we overcome one thing, as soon as we reach one goal, another one's gonna pop up. That's the nature of the human existence. Now, the coronavirus is one that's huge and unpredictable, but each and every one of us has the ability to apply this same process to our unique situation, our unique set of circumstances. And the sooner we do this, the better off we're going to be. Now, I don't know about you, but I started doing this on March 12th, which actually happened to be my 60th birthday. And so for people that are freaking out, I'm in that category, not only by age, but by physical challenges and past underlying medical conditions. I've got at least one handful, probably two handfuls of underlying medical conditions that would make me very susceptible to the coronavirus if I were to get it. Now, I have no intention of getting it. I'm being very vigilant and very careful, and being physically separated and doing all the things we're supposed to do, and being vigilant with anybody that comes into my sphere or my world, right? But part of why I am calm, I think I'm pretty calm. My kids might argue sometimes, but my daughter's going on a trip, and I'm like, do you have to really drive? But she wants to be with her husband, and I get that. I totally get that. Families should be together. But the sooner you apply this process, the sooner you start making challenges work for you instead of letting challenges work you and work you over like a bad gangster, the better off you're going to be. Now, it doesn't mean we're not going to have times where we feel bad or we're upset or we're frustrated or worried or stressed out about what's going on around us, because that happens too. It's just we don't have to choose to live there and stay there and be victims to things that are outside of our control. We can either choose to be victors and say, okay, yeah, this is what's going on, this is a position I'm in, it ain't pretty, but I know that I don't have to stay here. I don't have to stay freaking out about this. There's things I can do. There's always something that we can do. Everything in our life that comes our way is something that is for us. I know it doesn't seem like that, right? Didn't seem like that when I dropped dead. Didn't feel like that when it first happened. Didn't feel like that when I had a super duper bad business partner. Didn't feel like that when I found out my husband was a schmuck. I mean, it's things come our way, but they all come to us to help us grow and be better people. This is a huge opportunity on a global, massive scale for us as humanity to become better, for us all to become better people, better human beings, better beings in and of itself. So that is the model. If you have any questions about that, please ask. I'll put the picture of it in. It's got the questions that you ask yourself about each of the main components, and I'll make it pretty. I'll send it to a graphic designer and have them pretty it up a little bit, because it is a great process. We use it over and over and over again, and it helps you no matter what your situation, no matter what comes your way in life in terms of a problem, an obstacle. Even good change can be challenging, right? Challenges aren't always negative, and we approach good challenges the same way we approach bad challenges. When I get a new job back in corporate America, when I got a new job, that would be stressful. That would be a challenge. There would be a whole new set of problems and obstacles and things that I had to overcome and learn. And I use this same process, and I encourage you to do the same. So let's talk a little bit about mindset. Normally when I do a challenge on the Sunday after the challenge, I talk about mindset issues and mindset things. So my first question is, what's on your mind? What is on your mind right this very minute? Share in the comments below, because if I know what's on your mind, even though I can't really read the comments, I will look at them and then I will know what to talk about, what to expound on, what are the main things that each and every one of us have the ability to do right now, no matter what our situation is, with respect to handling this coronavirus challenge that we're all facing. And I'm only going to share 3. I could share, I did a 20-day countdown of my biggest lessons learned throughout my life so far before I started the Live Thread Challenge. So I could do 20 easily. Could probably do 1,000, because I guarantee I've learned lots and lots of lessons over 47 years in business and 60 years of life lessons, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But let's just talk about 3 things that all of us can do and need to do right now, not just with respect to our mindset, but with our mindset and with everything else. Number 1, the most important thing that each and every one of us need to do is to take care of ourselves. You need to take care of yourself. That is the most important thing that you can do. And I mean physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, with your relationships, and financially. You have to figure out what your challenge is right now. What's the challenge? What's changed in your situation? And what position are you in? And what is the next thing that you need to do to take care of yourself right now? And the mindset piece is that with 100% certainty that you can take care of yourself physically. It's a confidence thing. You can take care of yourself emotionally, you can take care of yourself spiritually, and you can take care of yourself mentally from a mindset standpoint. Everything you already need is inside of you. We all come equipped with this, little guidance system and a connection to a higher power that leads us all through every situation that we're faced with, every experience that we have. If we will take a deep breath and allow ourselves to believe that we know what to do, we know what to do next. So the first and most important thing that you have to do is to take care of yourself. You can't take care of the other people that you come in contact with or the other people in your life if you don't first take care of yourself, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, right? You just got to take care of yourself. Finances, you know what? I have a lot of acquaintances that are really freaking out about finances right now. They have been living paycheck to paycheck, or their income has been instantly cut off, and they're freaking out because they don't have credit. They don't have things in place to take care of them through this time period. And what I tell them and what I will tell you is part of taking care of yourself is not freaking out about what is. It's saying, this is what is. What am I going to do about it? What can I do? And that kind of leads me to number 2, do what you can. Do what you can do. Do what you have the ability to do. And guess what? We all have so many hidden and latent abilities that we're not using. I would say the vast majority of us use maybe 10% of our capability, right? Maybe when we're really pushing it, we get up to a whopping 20. But what each and every one of us as human beings are capable of is mind-boggling. We only limit ourselves by our imagination. So I say, imagine more for yourself, imagine different for yourself, and then that leads to the next thing. Move in the direction of what it is that you want. We all have to take care of ourselves, do what we can do, and then continue to move in the direction that's right for us and in the direction that we want. Again, I will add, as long as it doesn't hurt or harm or endanger any other people, because being good human beings is taking care of ourselves, taking care of each other, and doing what we can do to make the world a better place. So how are you going to go about doing those things, and what do you need to do that? It's going to be different for each and every one of us. I'll give you a little insight into some of the things that I'm doing, which incidentally are the things that I've been doing for years now that have helped me overcome a sudden cardiac arrest, because I did die in 2010, and I'm just lucky, and I look at it this way, I am just fortunate and lucky to be here talking to you. I feel so blessed and so grateful for that, and every day that I wake up, that I just have a whole different mindset and perspective than I had 10 years ago. 10 years ago, boy, I didn't have a very good mindset, and I didn't have a very good perspective, and I didn't have the ability back then to look at the world and be grateful for what is and what was in my life, because back then, just like now, I had so many blessings, but I was so busy feeling bad, feeling sorry for myself about all the things that were going wrong in my life, and so frustrated over everything that wasn't working the way I thought it should be, that I actually ended up, you know, not taking care of myself and having a life-altering, like, death event that stopped me dead in my tracks. Well, this feels a lot like that to me, only not me just being impacted, but everyone in the world on a global basis is being stopped in their track to reassess, where are you right now? Where, you know, you can kind of think about where you've been, but you can't do anything about that. Where are you right now in relation to what's going on? What can you do? Do what you can with what you've got right now. I've been saying that for a couple of years too. Instead of being frustrated or looking for things or commiserating, do what you can with what you've got right now. And then take action, take a step. Do one little thing every day that moves you toward what it is that you want, that moves you in the direction you want. If you're in a situation where you've lost your job, you've lost your income, or your business is shut down, what are you doing right now to make sure that you've got a business when you open up again? Are you communicating with the people that have been your customers? Are you in some way, shape, or form letting them know, hey, we're here, we're in the same boat you are, and we're, you know, we are hurting and we know you're hurting too. If there's any way that we can help you, reach out to them, ask them. If there's any way we can help you in this time period, let us know. What are you looking for when we open back up in 4 weeks or whenever? What is the most important thing that we can do for you as soon as we're able to sell to you or able to open up again? Get creative with it, but don't just sit and wait for the world to go back to normal, because I'm sure if you're thinking about it, you know, we are never going back to the way the world was 2-3 weeks ago. It's not going to happen. Our world is going to be forever changed, and for most of us, the vast majority of us, it will not ever go back to being life as usual or business as usual. And as soon as we can embrace that and figure that out and say, okay, we're not going back to the past, because the past does not equal the future, and the past doesn't even equal right now. So we have to figure out what's our place in the new world, in the new economy, in the new environment, in our new life. What do we want it to be? And just start designing it and building it and working on that right now. So that's it. I would love to hear what you're thinking right now. What's your mindset? Where's your mind right now? I'll be the first to admit, I've had the weirdest dreams, and I've been sleeping like a rock. Every once in a while, every couple of days, I'll wake up with, like, that was the weirdest dream I could even imagine having. And I think that's just part of my subconscious adjusting to the changes that we're all going through. So share in the comments below, what are you going through? Where's your mind right now? And if I can help you in any way, please just ask. Please ask. And I'll help you make sure that you are taking that next step, that you're taking care of yourself, that you're doing what you can do, and that you're moving in the direction of what you want your life to be like going forward and coming out of this situation. That's it. Have an amazing day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow with another bonus for the Live Challenge Workshop, and we'll see what we can do next with you to help you continue to deal with challenges and overcome them, and I want to say make them your bitch, but I don't really talk that way. But you want to master them, because then we're mastering it. We're taking the experiences that our life deals us or sends our way, and we're learning from each of those and growing and moving the direction that we want to go, instead of just reacting to whatever happens in our life. All right, have a great day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye.